Recent statistics would show that San Antonio as a city now is second in the United States behind Los Angeles in teen pregnancy. Second behind Los Angeles. If you were elected mayor, how would you begin to address that problem in our city?
I love this Adopt a School initiative. I will do this as your mayor. I believe as a pastor in this city for years and years, as a businessman, I believe that we can get the private sector, the business people. I believe we can also get the community-based, our Kiwanis clubs, all the club people in our city, as well as you, the faith-based ministries and the church. I believe that this is a community effort that we can do that will really work. It's called Adopt a School Initiative, where we will go in and we will begin to adopt elementary schools, adopt middle schools, adopt high schools for the purpose of what? For one purpose and one purpose alone, not for faith, even though I know that we'll be the church getting in there, but for the purpose of two things, tutoring and mentoring. Now, what is that going to do? There are a lot of people today that they come home to, and their mother's working 2 or 3 jobs. They come home to divided homes, and they don't have the kind of tutoring that we have. And then, therefore, they don't have the type of mentoring that we've got. Well, can you imagine business people, church people getting involved? I know I'm going to finish this though real quick. Getting involved. I believe this is an answer for our city. And I believe that as your mayor, I can create this initiative and we can drive it. And the community of San Antonio will do it. Thank you.
Well, again, I think that is a problem that you people need to address. I don't think it's the city problem. If anything, it starts in the schools. And our schools are failing us rapidly. But I think that it needs to be a faith-based initiative. It needs to start with grassroots folks like you. Don't count on your government to keep teens from getting pregnant. That's not going to work. So, you know, it's your problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Of course, this is not only a San Antonio problem, and we can talk about this. I think you know some of my feelings I've already expressed. It is so important. I volunteer for communities and schools. I go to the east side, to Cameron Academy, and to others, and mentor and tutor with these young students. But there are other issues here, and when we ignore the fundamental founding principles of this nation, somehow in 21st century America, San Antonio doesn't, divorce itself from the Constitution and Bill of Rights. This mayor of this town should have stood up to Rick Perry when those children died and said, why aren't we getting the job done here in San Antonio? Because this is not the first time this has happened. Fundamental human rights and civil rights. We have a campaign, part of our campaign is from San Antonio to Saulito. Saulito was the little boy that's an American citizen that was here last week during the Cesar Chavez March, and his mother is in sanctuary in a Methodist church up in Chicago because the government is trying to deport her away from her son.
Take him with her.
When is America going to step up to the plate at all levels, federal, state, and local?
Thank you.
Thank you.
My job as mayor will not be to be their minister. You don't shove your fate down somebody else's mouth because you're going to get more repercussion than you've ever gotten. What I'm there for is to see that what did you get personally for your tax dollars from this mayor, this council, and this administration. That is my job. There are faith-based initiative grants through Washington. Max Lucado got $3.5 million. That's what you need to do, is get the money from Washington and teach the people how to take care of their kids. Thank you.
That's a very good question. What's happened in our city is that children are having children. Sadly, they do not have the experience to raise the children, so the vicious cycle of poverty continues. When I was a kid, I worked in a grocery store back in the 80s, and there I saw when the WIC program came in. Sadly, people in line would encourage one another, have another child, you'll get more services. Food stamps came in at that time, and again, I'd hear the same conversations in line. So instead of, like it is, it just so happens we are in a religious setting, but instead of giving a fish, we need to teach them how to fish themselves. And we have gotten into this cycle in which, yes, we're ready to help, and we all want to help. But maybe we need to hold ourselves accountable for how this help is administered. And hopefully we can cut this cycle of poverty that has inflicted all of the children of our city and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you.